It was just a normal morning in Pompeii. The sun was rising slowly over the city. Warm light touched the stone streets and red roofs. From my window, I could hear the sound of the city waking up. Vendors were calling out, trying to sell fresh bread and fruit. Horses pulled wooden carts over the stone roads, their hooves making a steady rhythm. Children laughed and ran between the houses, playing simple games. In the distance, Mount Vesuvius stood tall. It looked calm, peaceful, like it had always been. Nothing felt wrong. But then, the ground moved. It was small at first, just a light shake under my feet. A cup on the table made a soft sound as it moved. I stopped and listened. Around me, some people noticed it too. A few looked worried. Others just kept walking. Earthquakes were not new here. Just another one, someone said. Life continued. No one ran. No one screamed. No one knew this day would be their last. Pompeii was a rich city near the coast, not far from Naples in modern Italy. It was full of life, colour and movement. People came here to trade, to live and to enjoy the good life. Many homes in Pompeii were large and beautiful. Rich families lived in villas with open gardens. Inside, the walls were covered with colourful paintings called frescoes. These showed gods, nature and scenes from daily life. Some houses had small fountains where water flowed quietly, bringing a feeling of peace. The streets were made of stone and built with care. There were systems under the roads to carry away dirty water. Even when it rained, the city stayed clean and organized. Shops were everywhere. There were bakeries where people made fresh bread every day. The smell filled the streets in the morning. There were also small food shops called thermopolia. People could buy hot meals and wine there. It was fast, easy, and very common. Pompeii was not just comfortable, it was modern for its time. But this city was only a small part of something much bigger. All of this, the roads, the buildings, the trade, was possible because of Rome. Across the empire, there were strong roads, clear laws, and a powerful system that connected many lands together. A normal day in Pompeii was simple, but full of activity. For poorer people, the day started early. They worked in shops, on the streets, or in homes. Bakers prepared bread before sunrise. Workers carried goods across the city. Life was busy, and time was important. Food was simple but good. Bread was the most common. Olives, cheese, and wine were part of daily life. Meat was less common, but still available for those who could afford it. Pompeii was also a city of fun. There was a large amphitheatre where people watched games and fights. Crowds would gather, cheering loudly. There were also theatres for plays, where actors told stories of gods and heroes. But one of the most important places in daily life was the public bath. People met there every day. They talked about work, politics, and news from other parts of the empire. It was a place where life moved slowly, where people felt connected. Everything in Pompeii showed a city that was organized and alive. Clean streets, busy markets, strong buildings. This kind of life was not an accident. It existed because Rome had created a system that worked. A strong economy, good roads, clear rules. Pompeii was just one city, but it showed how powerful and advanced the Roman world had become. Pompeii may have felt like a complete world, but it was only a small part of a much larger empire. The Roman Empire stretched across a huge area, from the cold lands of Britain in the north to the warm deserts of the Middle East, from Spain in the west to parts of Asia in the east. One of Rome's greatest strengths was its roads. These roads were strong and carefully built. They connected cities across thousands of kilometers. Soldiers, traders, and messengers could move quickly and safely. Because of this, the empire stayed connected. The Roman army also played a key role. It protected the borders and kept order inside the empire. This made travel safer and helped trade grow. In Pompeii, a person could buy food and goods from faraway places. Spices from the east, grain from North Africa, fine items from Greece and beyond. People in Pompeii were part of a system that reached across continents. They could enjoy things from lands they had never seen. All of this made life better, easier, and more connected. But even in a powerful empire, not everything could be controlled. In the days before the disaster, strange things began to happen. The ground started to shake more often. Small earthquakes moved through the city. Walls made quiet sounds. Dust fell from ceilings. Animals acted strangely. Dogs barked without reason. Birds flew away suddenly. Some animals refused to stay in their homes. People noticed. Some were afraid. Others were not. Earthquakes had happened before in Pompeii. Many believed this was normal, just part of life near the mountain. A few families decided to leave.
I'm ready.
They packed what they could and went away from the city. But most people stayed. They trusted their homes, their city, their world. They did not understand volcanoes the way we do today. They did not see the signs clearly. To them, this was just another day with small problems, not a warning, not a disaster. They did not know. This was the beginning of the end. By midday, everything changed. A loud sound broke the air. People stopped and looked toward the mountain. Above Mount Vesuvius, a huge column of smoke was rising into the sky. It grew higher and higher, dark and thick, like a giant tree made of ash. At first, people watched in silence. Then the ash began to fall. Small pieces dropped from the sky, like strange grey snow. They landed on roofs, streets, and shoulders. Some people reached out their hands, confused, but soon it became heavier. The sky started to grow dark. The bright blue was gone, replaced by a deep grey. the sun slowly disappeared behind the cloud. Panic spread. People began to run. Some covered their faces with cloth. Others shouted for their families. The air became harder to breathe. Each breath felt heavy, filled with dust. The ground shook again, louder now, stronger. There were sounds like thunder, but closer. Explosions echoed from the mountain. The earth did not feel safe anymore. People ran back into their homes. They tried to take money, jewelry, or anything valuable. They did not want to lose everything. Others only thought about survival. They ran toward the city gates, toward the sea. Families tried to stay together. A mother held her child tightly, covering the child's face from the falling ash. A man pulled his old father forward, step by step, but not everyone could move fast enough. Some fell behind. The air grew worse with every moment. No army could stop this. No road could lead far enough. In this moment, people were small, and nature was unstoppable. Then came the final hours. A deadly wave moved down from the mountain. It was not slow. It was not gentle. It was a fast, burning cloud of gas, ash, and rock, a pyroclastic flow. It moved faster than any person could run. The heat was extreme, hot enough to destroy everything in seconds. There was no time to think, no time to escape. For many people, death came instantly. They did not suffer for long. It happened too fast. The city, once full of life, was silent, covered, gone. In just a few hours, an entire city disappeared. After the eruption, Pompeii was buried. Ash and dust covered the city completely. Houses, streets, and people were all hidden under a thick layer. Time stopped there. Bodies were trapped in the ash. Over time, they left behind shapes in the ground. Today, we can still see them. People in their final moments. Some lying down. Some holding each other. Objects stayed where they were. Cups on tables, shoes near doors, tools in shops. It is like the city was paused. Pompeii became a time capsule, a place where the past did not disappear, but stayed, waiting to be found. After the disaster, Pompeii did not come back to life. The city was not rebuilt. Instead, it was forgotten. For many years, it stayed buried under ash and dust. People moved on. New towns were built. The memory of Pompeii slowly faded away. It was not until centuries later that people found it again. In the 18th century, workers began to dig in the area. At first, they did not know what they had found, but as they continued, walls, streets, and homes began to appear. Pompeii was still there, almost untouched. The ash had protected the city, keeping it frozen in time. It started like any other day. The sun rose. People worked, talked, and lived their lives. They did not know what was coming. They did not know it would be their last day. Pompeii reminds us that even in the greatest empire, life can change in a single moment. If you enjoyed this journey into history, don't forget to like and subscribe. Join us as we explore more powerful and fascinating moments from the past. Goodbye, and see you next time.